Hey guys, my name is Sidiak and welcome back to another episode of Transport Fever 2, the Cuban edition, where we built this beauty. In the last episode, a mega station, boys, beyond all belief right now, which is pretty much going to be set up right now to enable us to really invest in our infrastructure throughout Cuba. We've got to the point where we're making quite a bit of cash right now, and we can now start reinvesting this into Cuba to make all the towns and cities and the island more interconnected. Now, if you didn't see last episode, what we've done is we built this big train station. Now, before you go, damn, that's a big train station, boy. Trust me, don't worry. Not every city is going to have it like this. This is one of our hubbed stations that we're going to utilize for high-speed rail. And basically what I've done is I've set it up where we've got cargo in the middle. So it kind of, cargo trains run this way, they run down this way. We then got the next two, they're there, left and right, for the passenger trains. Two lines run up this way, two lines running down this way, which is what's all connected to our double main line, is what we're going to call it. The two middle are cargo, the two outer are passenger. And then we have the two outers here for high speed running that way and high speed running down this way. Now, high speed is what we got to think about moving forward, because today we're going to try and integrate more of the other towns. But it's a beautiful window into the future with how the Cuban public transport is and cargo and high-speed rail is going to work. So much in fact that we've also got this town over here done. Now, the high-speed trains won't be coming to this city. So this one's just got the cargo going up and down, and then two lines for passengers coming down this way, which is what we've currently got set up. Beautiful. And then we've got to figure out, where are the high-speed trains going to stop and start? That's going to be my next question. But what we're going to do today, boys, we're going to extend this system to link it up to all the other cities. Once we've got all the way up to Pina del Rio, where we're going to terminate these lines, then I think we're ready to start implementing the cargo onto these lines. But I don't quite think we're ready for high speed. I don't think I'm going to start high speed until we've unlocked the high speed train tracks. But we can plan out where the stations are going to be. So, if you are enjoying this series so far, please make sure you smash that like button down below. Subscribe if you are new so you do get notified when more episodes do come out. And leave a comment saying something, we will play some more. And we'll do just that. So I think we've got Colon here as our first stop. Now, high speed is going to be very difficult, okay? I don't think I want it to go all the way to Pina del Rio. I don't think that's going to be the case. But I want it to kind of like skip a couple of, cities. Because in reality, because it's such a small island, are we really going to be able to get them to go to high speed levels? No. All I care about is as long as they go faster than my commuter line, then I will class that as high-speed rail, okay? So, Colon here was designed just as a placeholder, a template for future cities, but that will be a middle stop. So I think I'll choose Havana to technically be the end station of our high-speed rail. So these two cities won't be on it. They have to travel to Havana to hop onto high-speed rail, which will bypass our first city map to here. And then I don't know how it's going to run further on, but we can set that up at a later date. Again, high speed is not an issue now, as long as I get the platforms ready for it. So what I'll do then is I'll build the Havana station now. We'll edit this to include high-speed rail. And then these two stations here will be pretty much replicas of the MAT station there. And I think all my infrastructure is going to slowly come together. Now what's great is the high-speed rail is going to bypass this way and go up to avoid that city. And that's what we're going to try and implement elsewhere. So let's wait for this train then to get off this station in Havana. And this is going to be the first stop, the end route, the terminus, if that's what you need to call it, for our high-speed rail line. And I've also decided my commuter route is going to stay as it is. I think the commuter line is pretty good to go to Colon. How do I pronounce that? Where another line takes over, because there's all different kinds of cities moving forward in different directions. So we can pretty much run them into here. Right. Oh, hang on, there's another train coming in, boys. I forgot to press pause. Right, wait for this train to leave. And then we've got a beauty of a station to build next. Now, I'm not going to delete it. I'm just going to extend on it. So that should make my life a little bit easier. But we will have to change how the rail leads in and out. Okay, so pause. Now, What do we need to do? Well, I've actually got a pretty cool idea. I think I might actually just replicate this station here, which I think will work out really well. If this station was implemented in Havana, I would need extra either side for high speed, but because it's an end stop, what I could actually do is just then have another set of 2 tracks there for the end of the high speed line, which of course comes out this way and goes that way. So that could work out really well. That's actually a pretty cool idea, which it does mean I'm gonna have to delete quite a bit of space here. So unfortunately, all this has got to go. Sad to see, yes, I know. But what I'm going to do in return is going to be so much better for the city. So get rid of all of this. And then we need to set up then. So we've got our 2 passenger lines. Then we do a cargo run, then 2 passenger lines. That's all I need to know. That's all I need to know, boys. So drop you there, 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 and there. Platforms, this is my cargo run. And another set of tracks just there, there, and there, and there. Also, let me just set up the 2 lines here that come directly off the cargo, because that's where we're aligning our train lines to in the center, just to make it like super easy for us. So that goes there, and then we need another set of platforms for passenger. Another 2 sets of tracks for the commuter route on the opposite side. All right, keep this going. And then platforms, bam, 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 bam. So that's set up quite nicely right now for the station. You've got the 2 lines going up for the commuter line, the 2 lines coming down for the commuter line, 1 up, 1 down for the cargo line. And then what I do next is I build 2 sets of tracks here, as this can be the end run for the high-speed rail. And we keep that completely separate as that kind of comes out, runs alongside, and then disappears to meet up to the Colon station over there for high-speed rail. Interesting, yes. Now, do I connect it to this road? Or do we create our own road connection? It's a little bit too far away. So I might have to slightly adjust all of this. We might have to. Now, I could do it where we kind of pull it back a bit and have that stick out a bit further so we can get a little bit closer. That could work, but I don't know how much space I'm going to have available. So, this is a tough one right now, okay? This is going to be a tough one. But let me delete all of this here. And delete you again. Let me put my cargo platform there instead. So, tracks 2, 2. 2, 2. Oh, sorry, not 2, 2, 2, 2, sorry. Bam. Bam. So 2 there, a 2 there. A 2 there, and a okay, I can't make the platform go any further. So is it worth making it stick out by 1? If I made it stick out by 1, I can get the buildings on the side. But do they reach? They don't reach. So it's not going to work either way, which is fine. So I might do the dreaded thing of just redesigning the city slightly. They're not going to like it. But in the long run, it's beneficial. Okay, it's going to be beneficial in the long run. So let me replicate these buildings here. So are they all the same size or style building? I think they are. They're the smaller one, aren't they? So drop you in there. And then go across. So there's a couple there, and then you've got these smaller ones here. So I've made it look the same. I'll have to do a different road. I might delete this road and just change the city's layout. Unless I go a little bit bigger on this side. Oh, the decisions! Do you know what? We'll go full shebang. We'll do the full shebang, boys. Oh, I messed up already. And we'll redesign that road and bring it all a little bit closer. Right, we'll come back to that in just a minute anyway, the road situation. But let me now just do all of my underpasses. So we've got one there, there, and there. And I'll do the same here as well. No particular reason why. And let me now just do all the little overhangs. Now, do you think we should make the station a little bit longer? I think we should. So what I'll do is delete you, delete you, delete you, delete you. Come off this, because this is now all going to have to be deleted and realigned. So I'm going to push this back to just here for a minute. And we'll bring the station down. Do you know what I'm actually going to do? Make it go one either side both ways. So this is the only station that's going to be like this at the minute. And the only awkward station. So make it do this. Make it go one either side. And I think that then will be fine. So a little overhang things there. Platforms, need the cargo platform in. And then we sort out all the train tracks. Because then I can have bigger trains here, which is more exciting, isn't it? And I can hold more passengers as well, if needs be. Right, get rid of you. Platform-wise, drop you in. Bam, 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 bam. The overhang... What are they called? Platform roofs. Of course they are. Of course they are. Nice and big of a station. So last thing to implement then is just my alignment that I use for the cargo. We base everything off this set of tracks here. So I can't go any further, which means I have to delete this road. We've learnt previously the better way to create an overpass. So, you know, I'm not too worried about that at the minute. Right, that's all now set up, okay? I've got to do a lot of terraforming, a lot of alignment changes, but let's do it on this one. So I reckon... Right, I've got to keep deleting this so the train moves down the road. This will be the easy one to align properly. But I will have to then kind of change it how it leads into there. So rail, we bring this out. We bring that out. So now we know we're in alignment with that line. I can now officially delete these. Okay. So with that done, we got to run another set. Because obviously one's cargo, one's passenger based. And from here, you run into there. You run into there. Now you run into there. And of course you run into there. We bring this one out just a little bit. This one out just a little bit. And then we bend these in. Bend you in. And then on this strip here, we do our double switch system. Which just covers all aspects of the line. Which I'll go to there. And fingers crossed it works out here, there. And then double check. We can get these all to be double slips. Bam, 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 bam. Yes, that is done. And then them 4 lines are running down to the next station. Which things are going to get a little bit interesting. That's all I'm going to say. They are going to slightly get a little bit more interesting. So let me do the same thing here then. Just bring it out to there. Pull you in all the way out. So I've got my alignment set up. So I can then delete all of these. And then go back to adding in the additional 2. Very good, very good. And then we'll set the rest of this now up. So you're into there. You're into here. Into there. Into here. Come out a little bit. There we go. Come out a little bit there. Run you in. Run you in. And then we'll do our double slippy slip here. And then just make sure this is all done. And then this platform is then done. All we got to do is just make sure that the rail is on the correct sides of the line currently leading in. And that then leaves this completely separate. Now, this will eventually become high-speed rail. This is my high-speed stop. Okay. And like I said, eventually I need to upgrade this to be high-speed train tracks. So if I just do a crisscross here, that's how it's going to end. And that will kind of run parallel with this to a certain extent and turn with, but then we'll run it straight, which then will come down to connect to, which will eventually be this outer line here. And we've got to do something magic to kind of combine them, which I'm actually really excited to do that because I do have a plan. I do have a plan. Right, that's all set up then. It keeps the platform and the high-speed rail separate. Once we can upgrade that to high-speed lines, you'll visually then see a difference between them. I've just now got to figure out how we're running this in. Now that runs to there, which means I do have to extend this line going all the way down, but I got to find the perfect place to implement a bend. Now, I think I can go all the way up to where we've got our double slip in. Kind of. All right, maybe I go a little bit further. Have I broken this now? Right, we'll bring it to here instead, because I might have gone a little bit too far with that. And is it possible to bend this in to there? Or do you reckon that bends too much? No, it's commuter trains. It's never going to be that bad. And then these outer ones run in like this. And I've just got to get these puppies now all connected up. So if I'm going to do this in stages, because sometimes the game has a tendency to change the elevation and the levels that my trains are running on. All right, keep that going through. So we've got cargo in the middle, and we've got commuter lines on the outside. That's how this system is ultimately going to work. So apparently there's a collision somewhere. Where's the collision? Oh, there's like a random bit of train track there. I have no idea how that got there. And then the crossroads is going to be an issue next. But let me just see if I can run this round. And is it really an issue? It is going to be an issue. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll delete it. And then we'll figure out a better system to kind of connect that road. Let me just delete that there so we can bend that round naturally. So bring this round so I know where my spacings are going to be. And let me now just quickly sort out that road. So that road there, if I keep it on the old bendy wendy. Or should I have upgraded it to this? I haven't got that road style yet, have I? So we do need to get it into there, just to kind of keep it to the same fashion. Which something like that is possible. Beautiful. We do have a little bit of a tunnel coming up. There we go. And that's now all in. So the commuter line and cargo lines can run perfectly fine to the next city of Havana. The high-speed rail entry point and platforms are all good to go. It's just I've now got to set everything else up. So let me just sort out the smoothing of this area. Because once I'm done here, I'm then done. I don't need to come back. Unless I got to do like a couple of fine-tuning tweaks, which I don't see that kind of happening. All right, run this all through. Smoothie, 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 smoothie. Very good. So up to that station is now done perfectly. The high speed is ready for when we eventually unlock it. And we'll keep it the same width going all the way around until it gets to this point where it decides to shoot straight forward and then eventually merge into my system that I do there. So that will work out for us. That will work out for us. So now, with that all linked up, I've got to now try and implement the same fashion running into San Cristobal. And this is going to be my issue next, trying to run 4 tracks down here. It should be possible. Nothing's not possible, guys. And then into here, which is also going to be an interesting one. That station hasn't got to be as wide as what I'm doing now, because it's an end route station. We can take a couple of platforms off it. So that's done. I've just got to figure out the entry here. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to delete this and here. So I've deleted a large portion of Havana. I know what you're thinking, Seniac. You're an absolute noob right now. Why do this? Why are you doing this? Trust me, it's for a good reason. So if I bring that across, that road is technically too high, but I can drop it. But it's not enough to make a connection. Right, let me smoothen this first. So if I first go to the flattening tool and just kind of create a nice little flattened area to begin with. And then we'll do the smoothie. Pushing that back. So this part of Havana is going to be very hilly. We get that. We know all about this. Right, I've just got to figure out the best place for this. So if I ran to there and then continued it just as it slowly goes uphill, all I need to set up now is my Chrissy Crossies. That's all I've got to set up. So I'm gonna keep that road there. I think that will be fine. Is it possible to do an underpass? I think it'd be too much. We could pull it from that road. So I could kind of bring this road going down. And if I delete you and instead... See, this is a good point right now, okay? So if I come off this, does that run? That runs almost straight. If I come off this by an 88, because that's what we know the spacing to be. Right, let me delete all this road here, because we don't need it. It doesn't align to maybe where we want it to work. But I know that's the space in there. Moving forward. So I could delete you. Oh no, let me go through there again, then delete this. Go from there to there, but we do it via a bridge. So if I lower this as low as I can to benefit us. And confirm that. This road here should be able to still go underneath. Right, how am I going to grab that? There we go. Alright, trying to get this going a straight line. Okay, we have to delete the bridge. We'll do it again. We'll just continue that. Now we'll do it. Alright, up. And then bring it down as much as I can that it still looks kind of normal. We've got bridge pillar collision issue. Is it this here? Right, let's extend that a little bit more. So where's the bridge collision issue problem? Let me delete this. Is it that? I could be wrong. Oh, see, now I can do it. It's fine. So I think it was that. Right, that's probably as low as I want it to go. And then we have our crossing over to this side of Havana. Do I want to do another one on the other side? I think so. It kind of would make a lot of sense. So unfortunately, we do have to do a lot of deletings of the area. But that allows you to delete there. Delete this. Now, we do have the advantage where the land is kind of going up here. So does that benefit us in any way, shape or form? I don't think it does. No. So let me see here what I can do. If I come off there to run into there, up. So bridge issue again, it's that road. So let me just delete this road for a quick second. I'm deleting so much of Havana. I know you're probably like squirming right now, but trust me guys, there's a reason for it. There's a reason for it. So the arch on that has to be super high. But let me just kind of query it. That works. Two very interesting bridges, but they work. And they access this area. We get to keep somewhat of a hill. You know, to the landscape of the area and whatnot. And then the rest, they can do the rest. I'm going to delete this and just allow them to choose how they want to build moving forward. So let me just now fine-tune the land around all this stuff that I've now kind of completely all infiltrated. It's probably not the word to use, is it? Smoothing all this down. Now, Havana's taken a big hit. Okay, it's just taken a big hit with the population because I've deleted so many buildings. But it has the chance right now to grow back 10 times bigger. Right, if I bring that to there, I'm going to bring this going this way. And I'll let them decide where the rest of the crosses in the road are going to be. I'll let them decide. But I've laid down the foundations to how this city is going to work and how it could work. It's up to them on how they choose to build it. Right, perfect. Havana's now done, and it has the implementation of the final end of the high-speed stop. Or you could say where high speed begins, running through Cuba. Ooh. Right, I've got to now upgrade all of this. So the benefit again for all this is I can keep what I've currently got there. It just becomes the one side of the passenger. So I now need to delete all of this. And then we set up our next set of singular tracks. So these stations can be smaller now because they're not running high speed to them in that regards. I think we can get away with them being slightly smaller. Tracks there for the cargo. And then I do my 2 passenger platforms. So there's our first one. 2 sets of tracks. And then the last platform there. And then we'll go passenger buildings and we'll keep it pretty small. So we're doing that size. I think we're doing this size here. And then the smaller buildings either side. Now, unfortunately, I'm going to have to do more deletings again. Okay. We have to delete you, push this all back. Same with this here. There is a train about to approach. So that's going to be real fun trying to get them all connected. And we are probably going to have to then change the alignments all in San Cristobal as well. So we'll unfortunately have to delete this and delete this. I know. But trust me, it will all grow back better than before. And I got to sort out my systems here now. So I've got to get the alignments right for it to all work. So, train tracks then. If I come off this. There we go. And I did the same here. There we go. Oh, go back to configuring this. Delete the excess. Delete this. And then, of course, implement the other 2 tracks. Implement the other 2 tracks. Glorious stuff. So we know this is going to be the easy part right now, connecting all of this. It's just this is going to be the issue. So we kind of are now having to get these all connected. Now that can remain the outer. That's not a problem. Like that outer there could connect to this outer. That can run all the way that way. We're just extending the width of this area. So that all runs into there completely fine. It's just how this wants to navigate this scenario. So I think I might actually just finalize this first on this one. Just see where the old Chrissy Crossy comes in. And then we're okay. So sort out the Chrissy Crossy. We'll probably go to here to there. Get all the double slip systems in. So this is very vital for us moving forward. And then somehow figure out, so if I don't go all the way, so if I went to there instead and deleted this back, there'll be a point where the bend makes sense. Well, I'll have to delete to there now anyway. So this into there, which means this is not playing ball. Is that working? Yes. So do we notice that little switch? I don't think we notice it, to be honest with you. I think we can get away with that. think we can get away with that little bend. Still keep some of the original rail line. But most importantly, something's not working here, right? Most importantly, that train currently on the run is not going to have a complete meltdown. Something don't feel right here. No, I think it didn't feel right, but it's kind of pushed itself into the correct scenario. So that now runs through. You wouldn't notice any difference. Right, a lot of signals we've got to sort out, of course. A lot of signals. But let me just make sure that this station is correct anyway. So in Havana, which is this one here, we get it to utilize 1 and 2. But then the second time it comes to it... No, sorry. Havana, San Cristobal. Now, that one's 1 and 2. This one here is 5 and 6. Yeah, so going up this way, which obviously I got to sort it out from being on that line. Goes in correctly, and that continues. So that works perfect to there. It's just them making sure that this works perfect on this side. So that's all good. That's now all in. We can be happy with that. I'm going to delete all the roads here, because we'll redesign this part of San Cristobal ourselves. Now, unfortunately, we've got to delete back here. So we got to keep this going till we don't notice it. And I'm wondering if I can run those 2 pieces of train tracks. Right, let's run this one first into there. I'm just wondering if we notice it from this part. And then 2 outer. I might change that bend so it runs okay. Right, okay, let me just get all this now in. So you're to there. So we know this now. We've done this many times on the other stations. We know how this system now works. So coming out a little bit. Coming out a little bit. Running you in. Running you in. And then double slippy slip, slip. All right, there we go. Sort this out. Now, once I've done all this, this is then the template for all future stations. Now I've got the infrastructure in place, it will be a lot easier because I'm no longer upgrading current infrastructure. So if I just configure this line now, so manage this line, when it comes into San Cristobal from Havana, it's going to 5 and 6 this way. And then coming back, it's 1 and 2. So that runs up perfect, and the cargo remains in the middle. That's my final station. But of course, we're going to run the 4 lanes all the way. So let me just see how I do this bend here first. I'm actually going to get rid of the connection to the rail yard. I know we come awfully close to cut in here. Ooh, you're joking me. Right. For science, I'm going to delete this and then pull it back in. So it's a tobacco farm that I need to throw in. So I don't mind repositioning it because it's no different to me reposition this as opposed to repositioning something like, I don't know, a train station or the city roads. You know what I mean? There's no difference. So as long as I'm not adding anything, I don't mind. I don't mind. Right, run that to there. That runs right round. And then just run these now together. I've got so many signals I've got to still implement as well. Right, very good. So that gets rid of my issue with the lines, by the way. That gets rid of them. I'm just going to make them work here. Now, there's no trains here at the moment. This is going to be the biggest issue I have right now, is deleting and editing this station. So what I'll do is I'll first see what I can do to configure it. Now, we don't technically need to have as many platforms as we've currently got, okay? So I could get away with just having these 2 here. and then having another line there just for the cargo. I could get away with that. So if I set up... Okay, so if I set up a line here and then do cargo, it's a more simplified version of what I've currently got. But that means it's 4 lines into 3. Now, I could take advantage and use an extra passenger line because we're more likely to have more passenger lines coming in than anything else. So I could do double tracks. We could do cargo platforms. And just hope. So we've got 1 cargo platform, 3 passenger. Without changing too much, it works. In reality, right? It works. Providing I can get... Oh, yeah, I can get my passenger builders in here. So you would go there. And can I delete that little awkward bit of road here? Also, this looks very awkward here as well. Right, let me just redesign the layout of this town. Just for the better, okay? I think I might also make this a slightly longer station. And let me delete it to here. Right, make it just slightly longer. So platforms. Bam, bam. Underpasses are all in. I'll do another set of underpasses just there. And, oh, did I do this to this station? I didn't. Let me just do this real quick right now while it's in my mind. So this is the smaller station out of everything I've currently got. Will that come back to bite me? I'm not too sure. I haven't done the road either, so we'll do that after. We'll do that all after. I've jumped ahead. I'm that excited. I've just jumped ahead. Right, passenger buildings. And we'll squeeze... I'm going to redo all the passenger buildings here. So we'll keep to this one. That works out really well. Double just there. So I'll do you there, and then replicate there, and then replicate there, and then we'll get these smaller ones either side. So that should give us a wide radius to collect passengers. Right. Gonna delete this real quick, and then let me sort out the rest of this road. So you will go down this way. Oh, that still connects there. And then push that through. So we still got the connection to the actual train station building. We'll smoothie. Real quick. Now, we don't need to do a kind of a bridge over to, you know, there. You could argue we could do it here. Or... we do it... Is the land okay? So I could delete you, delete you, delete you. And I could bring this out. Go from there to there, but then choose to, of course, bridge it up. And then bring you down. So there's a bridge collision problem again. Which we'll get from there. So give me a second, boys. Give me a second. Do you think I should do this after I've done the rail? I think the answer is yes. I'm going to delete this going back. Let me just finalize the rest of this rail. Oh, it's going to run too close to this building as well. That building's a steel plant. Let me reposition this steel plant. So steel plant, where are you? Where are you? There you are. Mr. Steel Plant. Right, there we go. So, ooh, that's another issue I've got now, is I haven't accounted for... Do you know, can we do this different? I'm wondering if I can do this different. If I had that there, Another line. Cargo. Hold on, boys. There's something here I can maybe do a bit different. Because I'm also thinking about how the cargo line runs in. So if the cargo line went there, you got your 2 passenger tracks there. 2 there. I could share it and still have the 4. I just lose that on that 1 extra space. Because here, a passenger platform would go. Can't get you in. Oh, and you... oh, it still fits. Okay, I've switched it out. I don't know why I did it the way I did anyway, because I just realised cargo's in the middle. The only difference is... you get 2 platforms for passenger, now you get 2 platforms for cargo. Why didn't I do it this way in the first place? I don't know. I don't know. I often question myself. Right, get this all in. Tracks. What an idiot. I am. What an idiot. Right, bam, 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 bam. We're back to normal. It makes it a lot easier now to run these lines in. So all I've got to do is bring you down and, of course, quickly add in the sets of tracks to which we're aligning the middle 2 in. So bring you down. This one here is for this one. That then runs out. And, of course, there is an additional one there. See? I know what I'm doing. Said nobody ever. Alright, run you in there. Run you in there. Right, you go in. You go in. So 1 each, passenger and cargo. And it keeps the cargo line in the middle where it should be. Passenger lines on the outside. And then we just double slippy slip here. Which I've got to do it on a bend, so I'm not sure how this is going to work. If it will work. Just there. So yes, 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 and yes. Glorious. Right, that road, by the way. Let me see if we can get that road now in. So it's a very awkward layout it's all going. I don't want to mess with it too much. You know what I mean? I don't want to mess with it too much, the city layouts. That's your big overpass there. That works. Off it goes. So you got your overpass there. You got your going round past just there. And the city can then choose to just grow and continue however it wants, wherever it wants. Okay, there's many possibilities. Let's just get these lines now linked up, get the rail actually situated where it needs to be, and then we got to sort out all the signals, because the signals, a lot of them now don't make sense because you've changed up some of these lines. So, can I delete the signals from a distance? Yeah. All right, delete you, delete you, delete you, delete you, because they don't make sense anymore. Are we all okay here? No, these don't make sense now, do they? All right, get rid of them. Get rid of them. Get rid of them. Get rid of them. Because we was up to there previously, and we should have 2 on one side, 2 on the other. Right, that line, which is the issue. Oh, Pina del Rio. Oh, yeah, of course. I got rid of this route here, didn't I? Sorry. Sorry. Apologies. And then we make this a nice little bend. Right, that's back in business now. The line that runs into here is going to make sure that we got it on the right. Oh, okay. It automatically does it for us anyway. And then it runs on its right situated route. So the only problem I've got right now is the trains are technically on the wrong side. So make that go that way, but that's got an issue with that train running in. Has to wait for it to enter the platform, right, before it can start moving. I think so. But let's just sort out the signals. Oh, I didn't do this side. Right, smoothing all of this real quick. Alright, there we go. Smoothing all of that. Smoothing all of this, boys. Gotta make it feel like it was naturally built by the gods, the train gods themselves. Okay, let me just sort this road out. I've got to do this, then I've got to do the signals. If I don't do it, I'll forget. I just know I will. Right, I don't know what aligns to what. That will not align. But let me just use it as my tool to align. There we go. Delete, 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 delete. And then come out here by 88, because that is the correct number. To run that way. To run this way. I've got to figure out what makes the perfect route to bridge over. So I could decide it's this. And we did something like that. And that's a wild bridge. But that don't feel too right. So let me now just do some maneuvers. So that, of course, will run straight anyway. And let me delete this. Just to there for a minute. Because that, of course, would run this way. Just delete that bit of road. That's my straight runs. It's a skinnier road versus a chunkier road over on that side. But that could allow me... Like if I came out a little bit there and then choose to build the bridge. That's probably better, isn't it? To do it like that. And then make this road here continue. So that's your one pass over there. And if I deleted this... and then decided that I went into there, but that was enough there for me to decide to go like that. This is a chunkier road, though. I could go for a smaller road, skinnier, and make it a bit shorter. I could do a diagonal bridge. Do you know what? We'll go for a diagonal bridge. That seems pretty fun. So, how low can I make that? Okay, that's as low as I can go. That's as low as I can go. Fine-tune this. Sort all these out. And... ooh. No comprendo there? I don't think there is. So delete you. Right, we'll do this bridge again. I didn't take into account that road. Right, it doesn't like the idea of that road. Maybe I come off this then. So we come off there and run it all the way down. We get a better... I was hoping for a better alignment. But it's not liking that road. Is it? It's really not liking the idea of that road. There's a bridge. Yeah, it's that. It's just that road. Right, if I delete that road again. And I go straight over. And I just fine tune it as much as I can. We'll go to there. I still can't make that road work. What if I made it a skinnier road? What if I upgraded it to be skinnier? Nah. Is that going to be an issue? I think it's going to be an issue. Yeah, it's going to be an issue. Why you got to do me like this for, game? Right, run that down. We'll build it like this instead. Okay, didn't like the arch I just did. It didn't like that arch I just tried to implement there. Right, I'm not low enough here. Right, unfortunately I have to deal with that slope. Just for that. What a pain. What an actual pain right there. So if I delete to here, we should at least get this running in here. That runs down, but I'll of course bend it in like that. And then we're now back to normal. What am I now missing? It's just signals, right? So let me just allow the trains to kind of figure out what they've got to do. But ultimately, it's a double there. Then I'll do a double. Double. Ooh, actually, I've got to now redo this. So track-wise, could I run you in? And could I run you in? And then on each of these, there's a double switch. Okay, there's not one there and there, so we're going to make this one wider. So train track. Right, we're going to have to get it to turn quite tightish. And run it quite further up. There. I need it there. That's my issue. Right, I know what I've got to do. It's just trying to get this. Right, is that enough? No, yes. What is going on? Oh, snap. I mean, I could also not do it and just allow them to come from the opposite side. Yeah, we'll do everything because we can always build another one further down the road anyway. So all them double slips are in. So signal-wise here, it's going to be bam, 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 bam. And we'll add a few more in now. So back into normal play mode, or fast forward mode, I should say. Give me chance right now to get those trains on the correct side of the tracks. So that will go there, and that strip there is then done. So now on this side... Oh, I like to place them together. Thank you very much. I got a bit too excited there. Bam, bam. So the commuter trains right now, the passenger should run on the outside of these 4 lanes. So let's put these here, and then I'll split the middle here. So I could use auto signal, but I like to be able to control it on such short distances. So bam, bam. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam. Right, we'll implement it here on the crossroads. We'll do the next set on the other crossroads. And then while this is going to come down to here and to here, do the difference about here. Right, that's all done. Signal's now implemented, so we can now run a line from Colon all the way to Pina del Rio on our commuter lines, which is amazing. And they run on the outside of the train tracks, which frees up the middle line right now to start running cargo, which we'll actually now start looking at next episode, trying to implement that in. Because I know we're producing quite a bit of food down here and whatnot, and we're shipping it here, there, and everywhere, and we could always do with more goods, and it looks like we need to upgrade the trains. We're getting somewhere now. Something is now finally happening for us. And all we got to do is just integrate lines that connect onto it to allow the cargo trains to run on. So, very good. The cities, yes, they've taken a little bit of a hit, but they will grow back from this, bigger and better than ever before. Now, what I'm thinking about doing now then is actually replacing all the current trains on this passenger line and invest some serious money in them. So we do have electric right now, but it's not the right type of electric I want to kind of work with. If I base it off build date, I think we could go with something pretty decent. We go for the Mikados. It's a US-based train. Oh no, good power, good traction. Yeah. And then passenger-wise, these carry 17, they carry 19. Does that look like this? Oh, sorry, yeah. It's the same one I'm using right now, which is 20. I could stick to those, it's not a problem. Because it is a 20 capacity, it's pretty decent. But these orange ones gives us ×4 loading speed. So if I make these a 150 capacity, is that too much? We'll do 133 capacity. Replace them all. New type of passenger train right now, which is glorious. Are they too long for this platform? They kind of are, but you wouldn't want to go anything longer than that. It's after the slip section there, so we're okay. That's my shortest platform I've currently got right now, so nothing longer than that, guys. Nothing longer than that, please. That was a little bit too close for comfort. So, the main artery of the commuter line is done. The commuter line is now set up. So this is as far as this line would go, and then from this point they change to another commuter line. And at some point moving forward, it will change again to another commuter line. But the high-speed rail will go the full distance. It just hops city. So you could argue, it starts in Havana, goes to Colom, then it could hop then to its next stop of, I don't know, Moron. Then hop to its next stop of Las Tunas or Ho Yuan. And then maybe end in Guantanamo or Santiago. Not too sure yet. There's all these possibilities. We've got new vehicles on the horizon as well, boys. So that's quite nice. Big infrastructure upgrade right there. Big infrastructure upgrade. More importantly, none of the roads cross the rail, so we're able to kind of access the areas with absolute ease. And now all we've got to do is wait for the cities to bounce back after I destroyed large portions of them. It'll take a bit of time, but we'll eventually get there. We will eventually get there. The commuter lines are rocking and are rolling. So next episode then, we'll look towards implementing some cargo routes that finally go to the cities. I could replace this lemon line and this food line with the vehicles with actual trains and slowly start feeding some of the other cities that we currently have all set up. Things are going well in Cuba. So if you enjoyed this episode, please smash the like button down below. If you are new in here, make sure you do subscribe. But until next time, I will see you all soon. So goodbye.